How's everybody doing out there today? And thank you for taking time out of your day today to listen to me, Papa G, because I know everybody's time is precious. So we're going to continue this community conversation that we've been having. And the topic of the conversation is exposing the bully. Who is the bully? The bully is child support. Okay? And it's in every state in the United States of America. And it's attacking fatherhood. It's attacking the family structure. It's trying to destroy the natural order of things so that United States of America can maintain certain financial structures, certain social statuses, and keep the so-called American dream alive. So we're going to get off into it today. And as we're getting off into it, I want to start out by saying, please like, share, subscribe. My Cash App is $, Gil Muse, and you'll see my picture pop up until YouTube monetize me or until I get to monetization. If you want to support me, please Cash App me, $, Gil Muse. So I'm going to be a little fiery again today. You already understand that the conversations that I have, sometimes they get passionate. I try to start out a little even keel, but this is my life's mission. I am trying to get a fight started. I'm trying to get fatherhood established in the United States of America and respected. Okay, I'm trying to get some universal standards, some universal understanding as far as fatherhood in America and how the separation will go between a man and a woman with the children. Principally, the marriage belongs to the church. Let me say that again. Marriage belongs to the church. Okay? Marriage is an institution ordained by the Creator. All right? And it was explained to us by the Creator. You can go nowhere and find marriage before it is explained to man and woman by the Creator. All right? So if you try to make us adopt an identity where the woman is the head of the house and it's all deemed from practices and policies that you put in place to make this a reality, then it's time for us to realize that child support, the Attorney General, the state and federal government are all complicit in the act. They are all guilty of this act in the name of a dollar. They're trying to have control over America by making us accept a family structure that is opposite to the one that our religious beliefs told us that we must adhere to. Okay? I firmly believe that marriage is between a man and a woman as defined in the Bible. Okay? And that's how it even backs it up by saying to go and be fruitful and multiply. If a word have a definition and it's a verb that requires action, a word that requires action, which is a verb, okay, and is also a noun because it names something, right? It names something, marriage, but then it says what the marriage does. It says it goes forward and it is fruitful and multiplies. You understand? And how does it be fruitful and multiply? By creating offspring. And it says that I, the father, the male, all right, am the head of the offspring. Okay, I get to tell them what to do. I get to say how things happen. I'm responsible for my children. So you don't take my children from me and give them to the woman and then say, it's all about nurturing and all this other kind of jazz when everybody knows it has nothing to do with nature nor nurture. All right? It has to do with something else. All right? Nasty greed. Debauchery. Okay? Lust. They understand that Child support understands that if the father is in control of the family, that teenage pregnancy won't be such a big old thing. Because they have examples of when the father was in control of the family and they realized teenage pregnancy was not a big old thing. Okay? It wasn't even accepted by society. It's frowned upon. When I was a little boy growing up, if a girl got pregnant, they removed her from the school that she was in with us and put her in another school where all the other girls were. She was considered to be a bad girl. That was not accepted in society for a teenager who could not work to be doing something that they was only supposed to be doing in holy matrimony. And then let alone if you was going to do it, then you sure enough had been smart enough to protect yourself. You understand? And it wasn't even so bad back then, because when I was growing up, well, by the time I got to high school, computers were starting to come out and take over. So before I graduated high school, a lot of people would drop out of school and go and get a job and be able to live good, you know. So the attitude was different, where a young person could still recover from that. But today, you can't recover from that mess. It's going to take you the lifetime of that child, all right? But child support knows this. Child support don't want active fathers in participating, because then they won't have young men roaming all through the cities, roaming all through the streets, idle hands, idle minds, you know, trying to figure out what to do. Got the blind leading the blind, coming up with bad plans, taking things from people, when if they had well-seasoned men around them, those men would be teaching them things that they could do with their hands. You understand? Because those men are making money by their hands, you know. But you don't want them to see what they are supposed to be. You want them to go and run the gauntlet and hope that, well, know that you're going to capture the majority of them in their 20s and their teens, and the few that make it to their 30s, you know, you're willing to deal with them settling down or whatever, because the ones that you capture in their 20s and their teens, you got them, they ruined for life. You understand? That's why they don't want black communities to be fiscally and financially sound and responsible and proud in having black ownership, black housing ownership, black business ownership, you know, thriving communities with mother, father, you know, children, front yard well manicured. They don't want that. They don't want that. All right? Because all studies say if that's what you want, you give the child to the father. Ladies, if this is pissing you off what I'm saying, look this stuff up. And then you can be able to say, you know what? All right? They are smart and they are trying to trick us. They playing the long game. Okay? They just give you assistance for that kid for what, 18 years? And before the 18 years is up, in most cases, that bad boy that got 60 years in the penitentiary, 40, 50 years in the penitentiary. Okay? Listen. Give the man his son. What if your son come to you and he say, Mama, why is my penis getting hard? You know, like, are you really prepared to answer that? You know, like, I'm not so arrogant as to think that I have everything it takes to be able to turn my daughter into a lady. Because I know it's more to being a lady than what I know. Because I'll never know submission. I'll just understand it when I see it. You know. But child support knows this. So they don't want our ladies to be that way. So they fight hard to sell the illusion of you independent. Let me explain something to you. Independent means that I depend solely on me. Okay? I'm a disabled veteran. All right. And I do my other things. All right. I went out and did what I needed to do as a young man and went after the things that I wanted to as a young man to capture the things that I needed to set myself up for what was real. Because my grandfather taught me to get your own money. That's what he used to say. I said, how you get your own money? And he say, go work at the post office or go to the military. And my grandmama used to say that right alongside him, right there on 5250 Constant Street. They used to always tell me to go to work at the post office or go to the military. And the reason they told me that is because I used to be so upset that if I went and worked somewhere else after I finished working 20 years, which means if I started working at 18, at 38, that's 20 years, I'm supposed to be able to retire. And they told me they would laugh and say, no, sugar, you can't retire, you'll be too young. I say, well, where can I go work that after I do 20 years, I can get my retirement? And they say, you can go to the post office or you can go to the military, but anywhere else, you're not. So I understood as a kid that to go to the work field was a con. So now you have to understand as a father, that is your workforce that they've taken away from you. Okay? That is your generational wealth that they making you bow down and pay this woman to hold for them until, they get old enough to come collect them. All right? And you see what they're doing with the TVs. You see what they're doing with the movies. All right? You see what they're doing with the music. All right? And any other form of media that they have. You see what they're doing. So you understand that you need to be there from the beginning to have influence over your son. You need to be getting your son after he get out of school, and taking him to go whatever you doing. All right? And making sure he not influenced by what's going on out here. Okay? If you are investing in your seed, and I know what I'm talking about, and there are plenty of men out here who know what I'm talking about, they children don't have free time to be out here fucking being social and all that type of shit, because we ain't playing that shit, because we don't give a fuck about that. We don't give a fuck if you popular, if people know you. Don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? We got to go. We got a plan. Me and my children are a corporation. And they will tell you that. We are the Muse Corporation. You understand? And I bust my ass to be the standard so that they can respect the principles of this family, so that they can respect the tenets of this family, so that we can have some generational wealth established. For the first time, I'm going to be the first Muse man to develop business with his children, which I have done, okay? And we are making money every month, all right? And when I close my eyes, our corporation will still be making money. My children get money every month. You understand? Now, we haven't gotten to the point to where we're going to pay ourselves our first check yet. We said we're going to do that this October. But we have been generating income since last year, positive income since last year. You understand? This is what child support don't want, because they know a father will lead and direct and influence his family in the way that they should go. Okay? They know that a boy will want to be like his father and be hardworking and come home and grab the remote and look at the TV and do whatever his daddy is doing. Come home and work on the car, chill out, because he's seeing examples of what a man do. But if he don't have no examples of what a man do, then he's just a nervous bag of sugar running around like, which way do I go, George? Which way do I go? You don't want that. But that's what child support want. And they full well getting it too, because they know that. Let me explain something to y'all. Look, we have to accept that all of the things, we have to pay attention to the things that they are promoting And then we have to come together and fiscally rebuff those things. What I mean, don't go to these foreign corner stores. You understand me? Don't be going up in there spending your food stamps. Okay? Cook at home. It's bad enough you're spending the food stamps at the white man grocery store, and you've been creating generational wealth for him for Lord knows how many years, but he didn't let the foreigner come in and get in on the scheme, and they're experiencing generational wealth, and we sitting here trying to figure out how is these people coming in this country and they having more than me. Because they gave them the blessing to be able to use your food stamps. The money they give you so-called for free that you got to hand right back to them. They give it to you in food stamps. When you give it back to them, they turn it into greenbacks. When that money go to the bank, that money don't go to the bank as food stamps. When that money go through that doggone register, that money don't go through that register as no food stamps. The bank don't deposit food stamps. We giving everybody generational wealth and not even paying attention to it. And at the same token, practicing keeping ourselves down. Kill a nigga, slap a bitch, fuck a hoe. Come on, man. And the mind frame that you got when you saying that is you thinking about a black person the whole time. Don't lie, you thinking about a black person. When you saying kill a bitch, you ain't thinking about the police. When you say fuck a bitch, you ain't thinking about the police. Slap a hoe, you ain't thinking about the police. Because if the black people could stop killing each other, then we could call the police our number one oppressor. Let me tell y'all something. I truly have a nasty, nasty taste for law enforcement. Because what I saw them do in that St. Bernard housing project when I was a little boy growing up. You understand me? I will never, ever, ever get that taste out of my mouth. You understand? But even though I'm not down with the law enforcement and the police and all this jazz, all right, my God, this is all a design plan